This session, we're going to talk about talk about a couple of things, right? We'll talk about how to talk to sellers, right? We get this wholesale deal, we get this potential buy. Like, what do we do next? Like, what do we take to the property with us? All of that stuff. So, there's a few things that I like to do and set myself up with before I just go look at a property. So, remember, it's all about posture and positioning ourselves whenever we're doing this. Sorry, just shut that door. What's up? Everybody say hi. Are people saying hi?
Hi!
Demont's watching.
What's up, Demont? Cool. So, all right, guys. So now, at this point, like, and we'll do this here in a minute. Like, we're going to talk about when we pull our list on Deal Machine, wherever we find these leads, right? So whether we're skip tracing through Deal Machine, whether we're driving for dollars, whatever, looking for tired landlords, whatever it is that we're doing when we're trying to find these properties, the next step is getting to the property as fast as we can. So, and we'll run through that script and what that looks like. But here's a few things that I want to take with me to be prepared when I'm talking to sellers. So, what I need to know before I can do anything when I get to these houses is I need to understand what the house is worth. So, actually, we should take a step back. We're going to talk about we're going to switch it. We're going to talk about our script, like what we say to sellers. Let's look how we got to this point. That's what we're going to do. Erase everything I just said. So we're going to talk about getting that phone number, right? We skip trace. We got that phone number. What do we do at this point? What do we need to find out? What are the moves, right? So the first thing I want to find out when I'm skip tracing or calling people is I need to understand, hey, why are you selling it? What's their motivation, right? Like, why? Awesome. So pull up the number in different lead sources, right? So pull up the number, like, hey, if it's say you skip trace it, you're like, hey, my name is Jarius. I actually got your number from a realtor friend of mine. They said you might be interested in selling your property. And just pause. Clearly it's a lie. Right? The realtor friend's not real. It doesn't matter. I'm telling you, I promise, it does not matter. Like, they're not going to be like, well, what realtor friend? Like, oh, Kyle, Tyler, whatever. They go, cool. But anyway, like, are you interested in selling your property? Like, you open the dialogue, you start with that. Now, that's for one kind of lead. Say you want to look for tired landlords, right? How do you look for tired landlords? So I'll pull up like apartments.com. You can go to Craigslist. You can go on Facebook Marketplace and look for areas that you understand, right? Like when you have your buy box, your zip codes, all of that, you look in those areas and look for things that are being under rented, right? Say there's like a 2-bed that you know is like $1,300 a month, right? And it's listed for like $750, $800, whatever. Call them. Be like, hey, my name is Jarius. I just noticed that you had an apartment for rent. I'm not really interested in renting the apartment, but I was just curious. Like, are you interested in selling it? Maybe. Like, right? Because if it's priced low, try to sell it. It can become secondary. Like, who knows, right? It could be anything. So look for something like that, right? And even too, again, the out of state people. I say it all the time, like out of state zip codes or out of state area codes. Look at that. So we want to find out their motivation. So like, hey, just out of curiosity, like, why do you want to sell it? What's going on? Blah blah blah. What does that look like? So we want to find out why they're selling it. The next thing is going to be like a timeline. Oh, awesome. So cool. I'm so sorry that your mom passed away. I'm so sorry that this happened. So how soon were you guys looking to, were you looking to get rid of the property? Like, what does that look like? Because people have crazy timelines. You never know. Like, they could be like, and they'll tell you a lot, right? What was Mike just saying? Like, shut up and listen. Like, these are open-ended sentences, like questions, like that open the door for them just to verbally vomit all over you, right? And you want that, like, timeline, like, mom just passed away. Right now it's going through the probate. The attorney's doing it, blah, blah, blah. Or we're just ready to get this thing off our hands. Like, whatever, whatever it looks like, right? The timeline, why they want to sell it. 3 is I want to ask about the condition, right? The condition and kind of like what price they're thinking, right? So like, but it's very important. Condition, and price. So this is the same way of getting an answer, but asking two different ways, right? The first way is, hey, Danny, what does the house need?
Nothing. Looks great.
Okay. Right? Now, that's what most people will say, right? Because you're like, what does it need? Well, the roof doesn't leak, my toilet's flush, the kitchen faucet runs water. It doesn't need anything, right? So that's it. It doesn't need anything. Versus rephrasing it, one simple phrase is, have you made any repairs to the property in the last couple of years? Have there been any updates on the property the last couple of years? Oh yeah, the AC went out. Oh, we have to we put a new roof on, whatever, right? That's how you get to the outcome, right? And then right there you can kind of understand, oh, cool, new furnace, that's cool, check that box. New roof, check that box, whatever. So, and then I'll ask too, awesome, you guys a ballpark price you're thinking you want to get for it? What does that look like? And they'll share a price or they'll share whatever, right? So I get all of these to do one thing that's so important is I want to know, when can I see it? I need to know, when can I see this house? I need to go, I need to be there. I want to get there as fast as I possibly can. I care about, especially in the beginning, I'm looking at houses and I want to I want to get in it. Because remember, the more you do it, the easier it gets. The more you do it, the easier it gets. And I want to build relationships. So I want to say all of this to say, oh, awesome. So, when can I swing by and check it out? Oh, Thursday, whatever, right? It doesn't matter. That's it. And if they ask you any other question about anything else other than these things, well, how much are you going to give me for it? Well, what are you going to do with it? What with this? Blah, blah, blah. It's tough to say until I look at it. It's just, oh, so what are you going to give me? It's just tough to say until I can come by and look at it. So, are you gonna bulldoze it down? Are you gonna rent it? What are you gonna do? Tough to know. Until I see it, when can I come look at it? When can I come look at it? I want to get to that house. It's so important to get there. So, I don't just want to get there just to get there, right? We're experts. Again, what we said before is us being here puts us instantly in the top 5% of real estate people in the world, top 1%, and we know things that other people don't know. That's what makes us special. So, when I go there, I want to be armed with a few things, right? I want to be an expert. And I don't care if this is your first deal, your 100th deal, whatever it looks like. We are all in the same playing field. Your first deal, it does not matter. You're leveraging somebody else's experience. That's part of the we, right? It's part of the we. And I'll get into how that kind of plays in a second. So, okay. Why, timeline, condition. So that's going to take us over to here. So this is pre, and then this is us at the house. Now, what do we want to take? So, we want to make sure that, what do people want? People want to be heard. People want to be heard. They don't want to be lied to. They want to feel like they're getting a deal. They just want to feel empowered. So, I want to empower them. I want to really empower the seller. Because you could sit up here in the front if you even wanted to. Somebody is more than welcome to be right here with me. It'd mean a lot if I could have somebody here. But, all right, cool. Oh my gosh, this is amazing. All right, so people just want to feel empowered, they're making an educated decision, they're being smart about, they're not being swindled, and that's what makes you guys different. We're here, we're gonna show up a lot different than other wholesalers. I promise you are. Other wholesalers will show up and just fancy cars, all this stuff, wearing nice suits, wearing whatever. I want to show up in work clothes and in my broke down minivan. My minivan is officially broken down though, so I don't have that anymore. So I'm just getting dropped off by a yellow cab now, right? I need to go all the way extreme as I can. But we just want to show up as a person. So, but I want to show up with a few things. So here's what I want to show up with. The first thing before I go is I want to have comps. Comps are comparable sales. Comps are insanely important because with the comps, I'm able to figure out what my ARV is. My after repair value are based on the comps. Now, that being said, there's going to be a different set of comps we're going to use, right? So I'm going to have the comps that like I know what this house is worth. Like this house is worth $250,000 all day. This is why. Like I'm going to be able to come in here and push. I'm going to push an extra bathroom in it. It's a 3-1 right now. I know I can turn it into a 4-2. Move the kitchen. Whatever we do to get that forced appreciation, right? Like we know where it's going to go. So we might be looking at a different set of comps, or we might be looking at it differently, like kind of like the different lens in the academy.
How do you have that information, like what you can do with the bedrooms, the bathrooms, whatever, if you haven't been in the house yet? Like, how do you know that there's going to be room to put another bedroom in?
It's a really good question. So I'll look in the auditor site. So I'll get to that about the auditor site, but I'll look in the auditor site and look at square footage. So what I'll do is go to the auditor site. So I'll go up on map view, right? Get obviously the street it's on, right? Go on map view. And then look at other streets that are nearby. And then I'll go on the auditor site and then type in the street names that are nearby. And then I'll search the results by recently sold. And then I'll look and see what were recently sold and for how much. And then I'll click into that and look at square footage. So, go ahead.
How far out can you go to the comp?
I mean, so with this first technique that I'm saying right now, you go as far as, in general, you can go as far as you want. Like, I want to start within like a quarter mile, and then if it's more rural, it's a little tougher, like, then go out. But like, I want a quarter mile, 6 months would be a perfect scenario. Now, if I'm messing with like, if I want to get my other set of comps, like my lower comps, right? Well, first let me finish this one.
So to clarify, what you're saying is you have this house, it's a 3-bedroom, 1 bath or whatever, and it's 1,800 square foot. And now you see another house, 1 street over, it's 1,800 square foot, but it's a 4-bedroom, 2 bath. So you have the space to make that happen.
Yeah. You just kind of know, like, right? You can kind of like know, like, hey, I can do something here, I can do something here. But maybe you're wrong, right? Maybe you can't. Yeah. But you won't know until you go look at it, right? And then you can kind of adjust. But
what's the general rule of thumb? Let's just say that you don't find any comps. You have a 2-2, but you find comps for a 3-2 or something like that. Will you do deduct 10,000?
You'll find like a lot of 2 bedrooms are like kind of in 2-bedroom neighborhoods. Like there's certain neighborhoods in Cincinnati where there's just like 2 bedrooms everywhere, and it's like kind of like 2-bedroom neighborhoods. But again, you can easily turn a 2-bed into a 3-bed. 90% of the time, it can happen with just swapping out a dining room. It's just it's just like an old thing. But I would expand my search, or even look for areas that are similar geographically, income-wise, like similar school district. Like I would look there and just expand my search like that.
So would you rather have a comp like in the same neighborhood for like 1 bedroom off or whatever, like she was saying, or would you rather have a comp like in a couple neighborhoods over that's similar and the same square footage?
So,
size,
all right, that's good. That's a good question. So, it depends is the answer. Here's what it depends on. I'll break it down a little bit more. You have comp 1 and comps 2. 2 different set of comps for the exact same property. Comp 1 is the one where I want to justify a value that's less than what I really think it's worth. So what does that mean? Like I want to look for, so if the one that's the exact same footprint, that's in a couple neighborhoods away, that we kind of know, like, it's not a great comp. Like it's a different neighborhood, across the street's different, blah, blah, blah. But it's like, it's sold for $189 and it was updated, but we know on this side of the street they're worth more. I'd bring that comp with me. Because I'd just be like, go through it, show it to them. And, I would just want to bring the ones that were like supported the lower value as I possibly could. Does that make sense? Do you guys get that? Like when you start pulling a lot of comps, like stuff's all over the place. Like, and you can kind of like, as long as you do a little bit of research, you can really word things however you want, because we're in the top 5%. Like we're the experts. Like, and it's not like you're lying, right? You're just not telling the whole truth. I'm telling part of the truth. Like, do you ever tell the truth? Like, I tell the parts that matter, and this matters because I want to buy your house. Like, I need to get it offered.
Present the Lord out to the seller because you need to get your gap.
Yep.
And then you already know that by looking at the already fixed up houses that you can get 280.
Yep.
You're not gonna tell them, hey, your house is worth 280 because they ain't gonna get rid of it.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
So you tell them it's always only worth 150. That's all I can do for you.
Yep. And we work backwards from there.
same thing I was on.
Oh.
So on your comps, let's say you want to try to find a house that's exactly the same that don't have no upgrades yet. So that way you can compare it with theirs.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you put 4 or 5 bedrooms in. They don't give a crap.
Yeah. I mean, you just want to look for, whatever's going to justify that lower value, what that looks like, right? And they're on there.
So say you're inflating the rehab costs and you're deflating the comps like as much as you can, and so like you think this house is actually worth $200,000, but the comps you're bringing are like $170 or whatever.
Yeah.
And so you can't be all in for more than $150, but you obviously try to start low. You explain to the seller the whole time, like, I can't be in for more than 75%, blah, blah, blah. Then, like, say they're like, oh, that's not enough. And you can go to 150. Do you just make a liar out of yourself and be like, yes, 150, like.
Well, maybe. Hold on. Let me get to it,
Okay.
Danny.
Good. I'm ahead of
Golly.
you. Sorry.
I didn't finish with comps yet. I didn't finish with half the comps yet. All right. So.
Would you pull, you could also pull comps of fixer-uppers.
Yeah.
So you can say, look, this is the condition your house is in, here's what they're selling.
Yeah, exactly. If that works in your favor, like any of that stuff that works in your favor is what I'm going to arm myself with and bring, right? So in this scenario, we'll tell them it's worth $200,000. We know it's worth $250, whatever, right? So comps.
Is that current or ARV?
ARV, always ARV. ARV is the most important number when it comes to looking at it because ARV, like real ARV, or like either ARV, honestly, ARV dictates the maximum you're going to be into that property. So there are the 3 numbers that matter the most. So the other 2 numbers, the second you start playing with them and trying to make them work, is the second where you're going to screw yourself. I've been there. Trust me. I tried so hard to make so many things work and struggled, and it's not fun and it's terrible. Like don't do it. It's not worth it. Just walk away and then something else will pop up because the second you try to make something work because you need something and you just like want to make it work, a home run's going to pop up and you're going to be financially tied up, emotionally drained, like just exhausted and done. So then we got the comp 1, comp 2 at the house. So we're going to take that. The second thing we're going to take with us is a contract.
Sorry, Jarvis, the comp 2, so you explain comp 1 to them.
Exactly. Comp 1 is...
There's a house over here that got 200, but what are you saying for 250?
The 250 is what we know the house is worth.
Oh, so you're not showing that to them?
No.
But you're showing them 2 or 3 of comp 1.
Exactly. Yep. Yeah, exactly. Does that make sense? Cool. So then, the next thing I want to have is a contract. I love my wholesale kit, right? I like my clipboard. It has my notes in it. It has a contract. It has an assignment. I want to take a standard Board of Realtor contract with me. And there's tons of contracts out there, like tons of one-pagers, tons of questionable-looking contracts people use. For me, I just never understood having to do that. And, like, why don't you just use a regular Board of Realtor contract? Like, that's what it's for. People are familiar with it. It's
It's really supposed to only be for licensed agents. It's not supposed to be for public use.
Well, the public uses it. I use it. Everybody uses it. It's a good document.
Yeah, no, if anybody really wants, if you have one of those people that was so, what's it, litigious, an attorney could really get you for it because you're not supposed to use it.
The attorney, I can tell you my experience. Whenever I have that contract, I go through it line by line with them. Line by line, I go through the entire contract.
But it's more recognizable.
Yeah.
They bring it to the realtor.
They're gonna 9 times out of 10 they'll have like an attorney look at it. They almost always have an attorney look at it. And I can tell you, and even Okino's had this, many people have had this happen. They get this contract and their attorney's like, what is this? Like, what is this thing? Right? But I'm bringing a Board of Realtor contract and I'm not leaving anything blank. So it doesn't matter if, like, on one of the paragraphs is like personal property that will be left at the property, lines, like none of that stuff matters. Like, I just want to put like a line through it, or I want to hit NA, or I want to do whatever. Like, I want it so it looks like I went through every single line, like, and I didn't forget something. You know what I mean? So
even if it says, if left blank, it's going to use 10 days, you still want to put, even if it's 10 days, put 10 days in there blank.
yeah, whatever it is. I don't want to leave anything blank that could be left for question or look like I skimmed through it really, really fast. These are only like 5 pages long. Like the one in Cincinnati is 5 pages. You can Google Board of Realtors Jacksonville, Board of Realtors Columbus. go to their website and download it. You can even call the board of realtors and get the documents. Like, they're not top secret documents. Like, when you send, and when they get it, so when an attorney gets it or whoever gets it, it's going to say board of realtors on it. Like, it's a real piece of paper. It doesn't look like I made it in Microsoft Word in a couple hours or whatever. So, standard board of realtor contract. And I'm going to go over a couple things too that, with that. So, like, I'll just do it now. So basically with the contract. So, my thing is like going through it, when we come to the price, whatever, like I want to have my offer, and I'm going to share next how we get to that offer. But, I want to share it with them. I'm going to write, go through the contract with them, fill it out for the max I can pay for it. Give it to them. Whether or not they want to accept the offer now or whatever, like, listen, no problem. I get it. You want to have somebody look at it. It's a big decision. I'm just going to leave this here with you. I'll have it all filled out, sitting there. Like, we'll just leave it there with you. My email's right here. You also have my phone number. Whenever your attorney looks at it, just fill it out, and then to sign where I highlighted. Highlight where they initial, where they sign. Do that, and you can send it back to me, and then we'll get it going. So, but the definition of get it going is, and I'll get in that in a second. But just leave. You can leave it with them, right? You don't need to feel like you're like pressuring them or rushing them.
So does that need to be notarized?
Mm-mm.
On the signatures, they can just sign.
Yeah, they can just sign it. Yeah. So it doesn't. It does not need to be notarized. And then but then again, it's like I want to leave it with them, but I also want I need an answer. Like I need to know like a timeline. Like unless if they're not ready to sign right away or whatever, they have somebody to look at it. Like cool, that's no problem. So you said you want your brother to check it out. So is he coming in? Like, do you know when he's coming into town? Like, are you going to give it to your attorney? That's no problem. It's just a standard contract, standard board of realtor contract. Like, we talking about like a couple days or a couple weeks. Like, I just need to know because I need to plan accordingly. Like, I've got a few other houses I want to look at. This is my top choice, but if it's going to be a while, like I got to keep my guys busy or got to do whatever. Like, try to get like an idea of when. Do you have a question?
Come back to me.
Oh, okay. So the contract, and then the next thing is the Excel spreadsheet. Do you guys see that spreadsheet I just posted about when we were going to sellers' houses? Cool. So we have our construction spreadsheet, right? Which is awesome. We go through and we're able to like get our whole rehab budget through the spreadsheet. And I'm always really transparent with sellers. And I'm always writing stuff down. Like, I'll sit there with them, right, to show them the comps. Then I show them the work I'm doing to the house. And the work I'm doing to the house is supported by the comps. Like, yeah, that one had a newer kitchen, or this is how I do my houses. And I show them some of my rentals. Like, I'll show them rentals I've done. If you've never done a deal, show them my properties. They're not going to know the difference. Like, oh yeah, these are my rentals up in Cincinnati that my partner Jarius and I did. Whatever. Like, it doesn't matter. Just show them. Like, it's part of the we, right? We're leveraging off each other. Like, we are doing this together. So, yeah, so this is, how I finish up. Graded countertops, blah, blah, blah. So, the spreadsheet that I put up there is formatted in a way where it has retail pricing on the work we're doing to their house. We know we're not paying retail pricing. Like, we don't do that. We know better, right? We're paying investor pricing. We know what we're paying for stuff. But people don't know that. Like, people are used to, like, a kitchen costing $30,000. They're used to a bathroom costing $15,000. My friend in Hilton Head called me the other day, and he's like, hey, is $8,000 a good price for a bathroom? I was like, yeah, it's not terrible. Like, it's fine. Because it is fine for him. Like, whatever. And then I was like, what are you guys doing? And he's like, oh, we had bath fitter here. I was like, whoa. Are you getting a whole new bathroom? Or, like, are they just putting a tub and surround it? He's like, just a tub and the surround. I'm like, what? And, like, they are, like, okay with it. Like, had you not called me, they would have probably signed to put an $8,000 tub surround. Go to Lowe's.com. They're $400. I can pay somebody $250 an hour to install it. It'll be done in 4 hours. That's $1,000 in labor, right? Like, or I mean, God, I'm gonna say $250 an hour. We'll give them like 4 hours to take it out and 4 hours to put it back in. Like, that's ridiculous. Like, the pricing that people pay for things is absurd. We know that because we're in the top 1%, top 5% of real estate. Most people don't. And that goes for pricing across the board, not just bathrooms, kitchen cabinets, whatever. We know we can get nice cabinets for like $300 a cabinet, $350 maybe, installed for like $40. We know that.
What is the name of that Excel spreadsheet? Where is it at? Where is it at? Which one is that?
I've got it, Jeff.
It's in the group. We'll pop it up later too. I want to dress it up and make it look pretty. I did this when we were in Cabo last week because like, who was it? Somebody had a meeting from a cold call and I wanted them to have it with them. Somebody in the academy was like, I did the cold calling and they had a deal machine lead and I was like, I kept thinking about like how we can make it better. And I'm like, this is a no-brainer, right? So basically you go through the spreadsheet with them. Say, this is my rehab spreadsheet. This is my numbers. Okay, I count cabinets. I'm going to need 15 cabinets. 15 cabinets. For one cabinet, material and labor, it's about $750. Again, we know it's not $750, but for them it's like, oh yeah, that sounds right. Like they don't know. Like it's that's just what people pay. Punch in 15 cabinets, calculates that number. I need granite countertops. In this, type in how many base cabinets you have. Then it calculates granite at like $150 a square foot. We know we can pay like $60 a square foot, and so on and so forth. The flooring, the paint, the whole thing, right? So this populates it based on retail pricing. Retail pricing. This was so good. I don't understand how it took us this long to even put this in the academy. Like, I love this. This is something I do by myself. That was like, how is there not a spreadsheet on this? So we sit there with them, and when we're doing this, like we're talking to them, right? Like, hey, yeah, oh, so this, and I'll like even like go to Lowe's or go to Home Depot or something, and maybe like or show them. Actually, I don't do that. I actually just show them pictures of my houses. I wouldn't really take them to Home Depot or Lowe's because like they'll be like, oh, that's not that expensive, but they don't know. But you go through here and you start filling it out, and now you're like at like a 50% cost higher than what it would cost, right? And you're like, this is kind of the number it's going to take for me to get the house done.
Would you have to tour the house? Would you have to ask for a tour of the house?
Oh yeah, this is at site. This is like at the house. Like you're hopefully sitting in the kitchen, right? Or maybe at Starbucks next door or whatever. Like you want to hopefully be in the house. Like, and when I go in the house, I always ask to take photos. Don't forget to take a front photo. They're the most easily forgotten photos ever. Because you get so excited, you just want to run in. And then you're like, oh crap, I didn't take a front photo. So like, get your front photo, get photos. This is good too. I didn't say this in the last group. Here's the things I get photos of, right? I'll get photos of the outside. Outside? Yeah. The bedrooms, living room, kitchen, and then get pictures of all the mechanicals. I want pictures of all the mechanicals. I want pictures of the breaker box. I want pictures of the furnace. I want pictures of the AC. I want pictures of the hot water heater. I want so many pictures of all of that stuff. So I want to walk away with all these pictures. So then I have it on my, so then I have it all. So we're, cool. So now we're sitting at the table. We got our spreadsheet. It's all pulled up. You're talking to them. They're like, yeah, in agreement. You're being like charming and nice and whatever. And then you tell them like, now you kind of got to get to it. You're like, so yeah, I mean, none of this really scares me. Like I'm, still really interested. So just so you know, like where I'm coming from and like where I got to be at, basically what I need to do is like, I need to be all into this house for no more than 200,000. So I'll come over and I'll be like, so 200,000, we can agree the house is worth 200, right? Just based on these, right? Yeah. So if you want to take it a step further and you really want to like bully somebody, especially now, I would go like, yeah, these comps were like, from a few months ago, 200,000, like we both know the market's kind of changed a little bit, right? Like rates went up. Like I've kind of been adjusting down like, like 10% just because like, we're in a volatile market or whatever. I'm like, but let's just say it's 200, right? Because that phrase, that little word track, like, is almost like you're kind of giving them something. Like, you know what I mean? Like you're giving without really giving. You're like, like along the lines of like, so we can, based on the comps, we can say like it's worth like 200,000. But like these comps are from like a few months ago. They were from like 6 months ago. Like, man, the rates have gone up a lot. Like the market's kind of changed a little bit, right? And they're like, oh yeah. Whatever. And you're like, so like, and then I'll be like, well, typically like I'll adjust down 10% just because we've seen prices come down and home sales kind of like stall out a little bit. And they're like, oh yeah. I'm like, but don't, it's not a big deal. Let's just run with it. It's fine. Because you've already like beat them up on the ARV side, and on their spreadsheet, you're up like 50 grand or whatever, or 20 grand, whatever that number is. So like, all right, cool. All right, Mary, well, like, we're at like 200,000. So I need to be all in to this property for no more than 75%. So again, people might be at 70, some people might be 80, whatever. We're just doing 75 for easy. So I need to be, and you just tell them that, like, I need to be all in. I need to like be all in for no more than 75%. That leaves me like 25%, just for profit, just to like just cost of doing business or whatever. So, and then I literally write this stuff out. I need to buy it and renovate it, including my costs, for no more than $150,000. So I already have this number here. This number has my carrying costs, has my repairs, has everything. I just filled it out in front of Mary. Like I just did the whole thing, right? Did it all. I'm just taking the cell number. I'm moving it over. So minus $60,000 means I can pay. I can give you $90,000 for the house. Like, you can do 90. I can close quick. It's cash. You don't have to make any repairs. You don't have to worry about it again. It puts me at like 90,000. Then again, we're listening, right? We're listening. We're getting cues. We're kind of understanding what's going on. And you find out Mary's like, oh man, like 90. She's like, well, man, I really wanted to like pay off some debt with this. I had, I wanted to buy a boat. I wanted to do something with it. I really was like, needed to be at like 120. And it's like, yeah, like I'm sorry, I can't come close to that. Like, this is my number. Like, I could, and you have room, right? The rehab's big, right? At this point, you buy it for 90. And you put 60. You put 40 into it, right? You buy it at 90, you put 40 into it. You're into it for 130. It's worth 250, and you're like, killing that. Like that's amazing. So, but you're like, so then you kind of get another gift, like Mary, like I mean, 90, 95, or could we do that? I could kind of maybe cut a couple things out over here or whatever. She's like, well, I'm like, they say yes, maybe, or maybe they're like waffle around. And then she's like, how about 100? That's just a nice even number. I'm like, okay, sure. I'll do 100 for you, Mary. Let's do this. And then that, we have the contract there. And then at that point we go through it line by line. We fill it out and you just give it to her. And if she's comfortable, she'll sign it or somebody else has to look at it, whatever. But at this point, you've already built such a rapport. Showed her like some of your houses you've done. Just talk to her like in an intelligent way. Like I guarantee, I'm not even kidding when I tell you most of the wholesalers I went against would just like come into a house like a fucking pit bull and just be like, oh, pull up in a Mercedes in a suit, and they're just like, oh, I'm just so cool. I'm gonna buy your house and I'm the best thing ever. Like they just think they're so freaking cool because they just want to go rip somebody for 50 and go do this and go make all this money and act like hot shit. But like you're actually taking your time, understanding what they're doing, going through it. You're breaking it down for them. They don't know this. No homeowner knows the back end of this real estate stuff. And you're explaining it to them. That's cool. Like that's really, really nice. That helps tremendously. So then, we take that number, we plug it in. I'll fill the contract out. We fill it out with them line by line, put it in front of them. Either they sign it right now or they don't. Either way, if somebody has to look at it, again, I want to get the timeline on when I can expect it back, and then you tell them what the next steps are. Be like, cool. So what's going to happen next is like, I never call it a contract. I call it paperwork. Don't call it a contract. Contracts are scary. People sign contracts and you're like, I'm giving something away. Be like, cool, let's knock out the paperwork. It's always paperwork. It's never a contract. So let's knock out the paperwork. Knock it out, and the next thing is like, cool, awesome. So what's going to happen next is I'm going to shoot this over to Jeff at the title company, and I'll copy you on the email. And Jeff will run title, make sure everything's clear, make sure it's all good to go, and then we'll close. Then we'll close. So it's important for them to know what happens next. So, while I'm going through the contract, I am going to try to get inspections. Like I'm almost always going to negotiate. Like I just need 5 days to go through here, 10 days to go through here, whatever. Start with 10. Start with like 10 days and to see what they say. Earnest money, it sounds ridiculous, but put $100 in there. People don't they don't know, and then never ever let the seller hold the earnest money. Always the title company. Always, always the title company. Because if the deal goes sideways, they're cashing that check and you're never getting your money back. Ever. So, a couple things there. Always start with 10 days for inspections, 14, and as low of as an earnest money as you possibly can. And then kind of, find the balance in that. But then we send it over. To the title company and get to work. And now, whatever reason, right? We can't even come up with the price. Shwanda?
I'm sorry, I had a question, but you jumped so quick from the squirrel.
Anyway, so.
In Florida, I guess, I don't know if it's all of Florida, but I know Jacksonville has a bad, I guess they have so many wholesalers that they undercut each other like all the time. So they have a thing where they file the title with a memorandum of something. It's kind of like that. So basically with the seller to say, hey, you're under contract with me. You can't sell it, once I walk out this door, the next wholesaler comes and the seller's like, oh yeah, I'm going to go with you because you offer me more money. So they'll file the title so they can't close on it.
Yeah.
And kick you out. Because if they don't ever call you back, you don't know that they didn't, try to sell it to the next person.
Man, at this point, as soon as I get my contract, within an hour, it's going to a title company to get closed. Like, it's going immediately. And if they try to do something crazy, well, I'm going to put a lien against, I'll put that contract against the house and be like, that's mine. Like, that's my house, right? Like, that's mine.
Okay, I think that's where they do it up front. So if they just so happen to make it to a title company and it hasn't been.
Yeah, I mean, that's some shady shit. That's just ridiculous. This is why I just hate wholesalers so much, right? I've done 1,000 wholesalers. They're all terrible. Like, if for real, like, they're just not, they just don't care. It's so weird. This is why we're doing it different, right? Like, and at the end of the day, we're wholesaling it to ourselves. Like, we'll end up being the end buyer in this transaction. That's what we want, right? So we're not worried. That's why we're never really worried about inspection periods. Cause like, man, I know if I can get this for 90, 100, 110, like, I think I got it sold to me. Like, I'm good. I know I'm good. Like, so that's where it's like for the inspections, like if you really do want to wholesale it, get those inspections and then just say, hey, just so you know, like, especially if the house is empty, like, so, is it alright if I just grab the keys and I'll put it on the lockbox, put a lockbox on here. I just want to run a couple of my contractors through, just because, not for no other reason than I want to get a list before we close so I can get some stuff ordered. Cabinets are taking forever. Windows are taking forever, which we know, like, I never ever recommend doing that until you close, but they don't know that, right? So, so just so you can get people through it and, are able to buy it. And if for some reason I'm not able to get to like the 90, the 110, like the number that makes sense, I'll just say like, just be honest, like this is when I have my license here. I'll just say like, so, it just doesn't work for me, but like, I do want to help you sell this thing. Like, I can put it on the market for you for like, $500, $1,000, 1%. I did so many $500 flat fee listings. It was ridiculous. I wouldn't recommend anybody else do like $500 listings anymore. I think like 1% is probably is fair, for an inexpensive, like limited service listing. But put it up. Like in the beginning, I needed the money. I was broke. I had nothing. Like I had to walk away with something or else I was going to run out of gas on the way home. Like I needed to know something was coming. And what's cool too is like, I'll hold an open house at a crappy house, right? Who's going to come to open house at a crappy house? Investors. Go meet with more investors, build my investor list, go talk to these people, see what they're looking at, whatever it is, right? Go do that. And then sell the house, maybe make some money, whatever it looks like. And then if another investor buys it, and you're like, oh, you're going to do it? I'm going to flip it. Cool. I'll list it for you for 1%. I can list it too. Like I can do it all. Like I'll do whatever, man. This kept me alive. Like those flat fees while I was like building my business, like these really were the ones that enabled me to stop like bartending and like waiting tables because I started doing tons of these crappy things. But at least it was like in my field. Like at least I wanted to kind of do it. Like it still sucked. Like they gave me $500 and like, why aren't you doing an open house? And I'm like, because you gave me $500. Like I'm not doing an open house. They're like, have you ever seen $1 Million Listing? I think we should throw a party. I'm like, ma'am, your gutter's falling off. Like, no, we're not doing that. I'm not going to do that. So this is like the word track. This is kind of like how I go into these meetings with these people. I just don't go in willy-nilly. My goal is to get there as fast as I possibly can and just be super transparent and just paint that picture for them. So, does anybody have any questions on that?
So, sort of, Redditon.
Yeah.
Is it possible to do an assignment of contract for a much longer period, 4 months, have it listed through an agent, and basically wholesale to you on the MLS.
I mean,
That's what I'm saying.
It's been done. I bought one. I didn't buy it. I represented a
so you mean me come in, tie it up, put the close date out 4 months,
So they're not
and then list it on the MLS?
through a realtor where they buy.
I guess, yeah. I mean, as long as the seller's not, as long as the seller doesn't have the internet, like, I would be like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, that's ridiculous. Like, yeah, I mean, I don't see why not. Like, man, if they wrapped it up for they let you wrap it up for 6 months.
I do it.
Yeah,
You do
yeah.
it a lot? You do it a lot? Really? And the sellers, they don't care?
Well, in my contract with them, I put that I can market it anyway, and I tie it up for 6 months.
What is the incentive?
Right.
How do you incentivize them to be prepared to?
I'm gonna give them money when it sells. When it sells, I mean, they're gonna get their money.
But remember though too, for every time you do that, and they do take more appointments, there's going to be somebody that's going to close cash quickly in a couple weeks.
Yes.
But not to say that there isn't some people that are fine waiting if they can get, if my number goes from, if they sit down with me and I land at 100, and you come in and you're like, I can do 130, but I need 6 months, and they're like, and they're not motivated, like they're not in a hurry, like, oh, I'll wait 6 months.
I price it right where it's gonna move. I don't,
Yeah.
I'm greedy about it.
But you don't hold
I'm
it for
20.
6 months.
I do. I'll try to sell it before that. I price it 20% under market value.
How does that work? Who's the realtor representing at that point then?
Me
But they can't represent you because you don't own the property.
in the contract.
She's
right?
the
You're
realtor.
giving them that.
You put all
I'm
that
in the
in.
contract.
Oh, you're the realtor?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm the wholesaler.
Like her.
Isn't that crazy? So then that's really good. So like we talked about that for a second, right? But now, when do we talk about seller financing? When do we talk about other things, right? So this all happens when we're understanding their why. It starts on that first phone call, right? And then we get to the house and we're talking to them. We're finding out what's their motivation. What does it look like? Do they have debt they want to pay off? Do they bring up like, you're looking at the house, be like, man, it's a nice house. So, like, what do you guys owe on it? Oh, it's free and clear. I'm like, awesome, cool. Man, have you thought about like what you're gonna pay in taxes? Oh, don't get me started on taxes. Don't blah blah blah. Like then in my head I'm like, yes. Like, oh yeah, taxes suck, don't they? I miss George Bush. Like, whatever, right? You just want to relate. You just want to be whatever. And then you go through the contract and you're like, cool. So like, yeah, I'm 90, but like, you're going through it and you're like, well, hey, out of curiosity, like you mentioned you're worried about taxes and stuff. Like, what would it look like? I can draw out a scenario where you can avoid those taxes and like, I can still give you like 90 for the house. And, you can make a little extra every month. Like because, at the end of the day, like, I showed you my costs over here on the spreadsheet. I'm going to borrow the money from somebody. Why not, like, if guys don't need it, you're worried about the taxes, like, I'll pay you 6%. Why don't you just hold the note on the house for me? I'll pay you 6%. We'll do a 30-year amortization with a 5-year term.
What does that mean? Yeah, that's what they'll say.
Yeah. And then I draw it back out. I literally will map it out for them. Like, well, hey, pull up my computer. Like, let's pull up an amortization schedule. Boom. So here's this. Type it in. Like, yeah, you'd get like $600 a month for the next 5 years. You don't have to mess with the property ever again. And that's pretty cool. Like and they might not have even thought about that, right? Or they just might be like, no, I need the money. I want to buy a boat and just get out of here. Like, I don't care, right? Like, you never know. But it's just about shutting up and just like listening. Like, and also being the expert. We're all experts. Like, that's what makes us so different. Like, and even if you did the seller finance route too, like, you could pay a little bit more. You could give them a little bit more money to carry it, right? And you have it for 5 years and you bought in the right areas. So then maybe it's like, I'm not really worried about rehabbing it right away because I can rent it. And I know the rent will cover my 6% loan to them, my 5% loan, my whatever loan, right? And I just rent it, kind of wait, come back to it like in a couple years, then go to a private lender. I'm like, hey, can I borrow 30 grand? I want to fix this place up I have. I'm getting to the end of my 5 years. I want to refinance out, fix it up. Boom, pay off the seller, pay off your lender. You got this house for no money out of pocket in an area that's appreciating. And now you got the principal reduction and the depreciation and the tax benefits and the cash flow. Like you crushed it with no money out of your pocket. But you got to this conclusion just by talking, by going to see it, by going to see it. Matt?
How do we do this virtually? 100% virtually.
Academy members.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like leveraging the community. That's like, community. Does anybody have anything on there, Howard?
No, nothing yet.
Are there people watching?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh.
Hello, Dan Mahoney's in the house.
What's up, guys?
Shannon Smith's watching.
No, but you leverage the team. You leverage your team. Like you got people out there, like maybe like a realtor. Maybe you pay, and again, like I know, David was talking about giving away the equity. Like equity is so expensive. Like I'd rather see you overpay for the house than give away an infinite amount of return. Like I just am so, it's just so important. But maybe you find, so like you wouldn't want to invest out of state. Like maybe there's a reason why you wanted to invest in Toledo. Or maybe you had family in Canton, or maybe you had family in a different area where the market wasn't as crazy, and you've got a nephew that like wants to make some extra money, wants to learn about real estate. Like, hey man, here's $50. Like, go check this house out, and then let the person know. Like, I'm actually like I'm out here in Arizona, but you know my nephew's out there. He's we do a lot of stuff together. It's okay if he comes out and takes a look at the house and like FaceTime, and then do a Zoom with him. Like Mike said, like people like are fine. Like Zooms are a thing now, you know.
I have colleagues that use people from Reddit. They'll go on
Yeah.
Reddit or Craigslist and post, hey, can you go, can you
Yep.
buy and
Yeah. TaskRabbit, like any of those any of those gigs. Or while you're building your team, did anybody watch any of my wholesale course in here? It's okay if you didn't. I don't care. I just poured my life into it for nothing. No, but it's really important. Like, and we don't talk about it enough, like in the actual academy. But like, I'm going to do a better job of that. Is like building out your team and like where you want to be. And part of your team is a real estate agent. And so many times when we're building these things out, I found the best people to use are the people that are just getting going. Right? They want to be busy. They want to get going. They want to work with somebody like you. Like John was our attorney. Nate introduced me to him. He happened to be in the building, the level right below me at my real estate office. Coincidentally, the same building. And Nate was there. I heard Nate yelling one day in the hall. I'm like, what's going on? He's like, I didn't know you were in here. He said, my lawyer's down here. So I went and met John. John was like 6 months out of law school. Now John's been with us for the last 11, 12 years. He's helped us raise millions and millions of dollars. Like that's really cool is when you can build a team like that and you can have people that want to go do that. And you take care of them. You're not sending them out to shit deals. Like, and guys, this scenario, you're going to get to go see 1 out of every 50 houses you call anyway. So it's not like this is happening all the time, right? But when it does, you want the maximum return. Like you want to have the best chance to crush it when you're out there.
So like a realtor would be perfect to have
On your team.
FaceTime with that would show up. So if I had a motivated seller in Jacksonville,
Yeah.
a realtor would be like
Who? I'm sorry, who?
a realtor.
A real tour. 2 syllables.
Real tour.
Realtor.
I say realtor. I say realtor too. I say realtor too. It's a Midwest thing. So yeah, as long as like you have a clear understanding with the realtor that like they're not going to try to steal the listing. Like if it doesn't work between you two first, she gets first crack. She gets like it's her listing or his listing or whoever's listing. But yeah, as long as they're trustworthy, 100%. Yeah.
So what's the realtor gonna get out of it?
Pay him a couple hundred. Pay him a couple $100. A relationship. The deals that I can't make work that I say I can help them get rid of. Just stuff like that.
Invest in that area. You find a realtor in that area.
There he goes.
Tell him, hey, I'm looking to buy in that area. We could possibly do more business.
Yeah.
Can you walk through this for me?
Yeah.
If I get the deal, like you said.
Yeah.
$500.
Or even like a GC or somebody in the academy, right? Like, I mean, if I was Danny and somebody needed me to go look at a house in Cincinnati, they're like, I'll give you like $150. Can you go check this out? Be like, yeah, for sure. Like, just to be, Danny's so motivated. Like, he always wants to go look stuff. Howard would want to go look stuff. Like, yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, if you had to, but just get out there.
I'm gonna re-ask that question now that we're later in the game and you can answer it. Okay, so you inflate your rehab numbers and you deflate your comps. Like you think it's worth $250, but you show them the $200,000 comp. So you do that, you get your numbers, you end up with the 90K, but you know realistically with your rehabs, you could probably go all the way up to say 135, 140 or whatever.
Yeah.
But you do you make a liar out of yourself and say, all I can do is 90, and then they're like, but you still know it's a good deal at 130.
Yeah.
Like, you just okay, I'll go to 130 then. Like, I know, it's not like a big jump. It's not a big jump.
Yeah.
It's not a big jump. Like, I'm not saying you just go straight there, but I'm saying,
No.
you just make a liar out of yourself?
No, I'll have a hard line. Like, I want to get a deal. Like, I'll if I know I can go up to like 130, I'm at 90, and I already kind of and she's like, the seller's kind of like whatever. Like I won't jump that high sitting there right now. I'll be like, I'll kind of like waffle about it. I'll be like, well, all right, listen, last time I broke this rule, my lender wanted to kill me. Like last time I broke this rule, it was a big deal. I know your situation is unique, and I like the house. Like I'm already seeing the kitchen. I'm already doing this. Like, can you give me like 20 minutes or give me like a minute? Like, let me call my partner. Let me call my lender real quick. Can I I'm going to leave the contract with you, or I'm going to leave this paperwork with you. Let me talk to him tonight. Let me run through the photos and stuff. I don't know. I'll see if I'm able to get it to like 130 or like 120. Like, are we done? Like, is this? Can we move forward? Like, is that your number? Is that just where you need to be? Yeah, if you can or whatever, go away. Let them think that it's whatever, and then call them back and just say like, all right. 130. I can't get to 135. We can get it. We can get to 120, but that's our max. We can do, huh? Yeah, the answer is I wouldn't jump on it right away. You gotta yeah.
Ask them why do you want that number specifically.
Yeah.
And then meet it because I have like a similar situation. Like I guess I don't know if it's considered a wholesale because I didn't wholesale to myself, which I was supposed to.
It doesn't matter. You're not.
I ended up getting it back on the draw in the rehab actually. But my seller wanted 210. I bought it for 150, and he was just. I'm just like, so why do you want 210? He's just like he was tired of it, and luckily for me, there were like some cracks in the foundation. I just had to. Those are like the best ones.
It was a dream.
Yeah. Because anytime you hear like foundation issues, like find issues because there are really issues, right? So just find those issues, and you're not making a liar out of yourself. Because honestly, I actually have gotten things under contract, and I go to a company that I know they're going to quote me something ridiculous, and I know I can get it for cheap. That doesn't mean I'm a liar. Just because I'm going to get it cheaper, I'm like, listen, if you were to go to this company, this is how much you're going to pay. They don't know that I'm vertically integrated. They don't know, what resources I have. They don't know.
Exactly, and that's how you get, the lower number to begin with, right? But you still know that you can get it cheaper ultimately, and so you can you're telling half the truth to the homeowner. But
it's not really half the truth though, because you're basically you're telling them like, hey, if they're gonna go, like if I am as a homeowner is going to get my foundation fixed, I'm not vertically integrated. I don't have a contractor team, so when you present to them this is how literally I told them this is how much it's gonna cost from Apex Plumbing to fix your plumbing.
So I think what Danny's worried about is we're if we know it's worth 250 and we can buy it at 75% of 250, so 75% of 250 is obviously 50 grand more than of 200. So we know that we could take this number and really go up to 140.
But you don't want to make a liar out of yourself because you just spent all that time doing it.
But if you jack it up too much, then you're gonna look like you're not trustworthy.
Why not just let them give you a number first?
Yeah.
From that number, because their number might be 130.
Again, that's where remember we're right here, right? Any updates? Do you have a number in mind? Man, if they said they 60, 50 grand, I'm not gonna, none of this even matters. I'm on my way with a contract. Cool. Let's do this, right? So here's, I said this on the other session. There's a house I bought that was a sheriff's sale, and I tried to buy this house, from the homeowner. I tried to buy the house from the homeowner. A year before I went to sheriff's sale, and she wouldn't sell it. It was a pain in the butt. Then I went to sheriff's sale. I bought the house. We took out 4 30-yard dumpsters out of this house. Had the dumpsters in the yard, tons of crap. Coincidentally, the day we were cleaning this house out, the neighbor to the right had a dumpster in her yard, her driveway. I was like, oh, this is amazing. That's cool. So like, I ran over and started talking to her, and she kept saying like, you don't want to buy this house. She lived in Dayton. Her mom died and left her the house. And she's like, you don't want to buy this house. The sewer line's bad. And that's what people say, right? Like, I don't care. She's like, it's gonna be at least 50,000. I was like, yeah, at least 75,000. Like, totally, this is the worst thing ever. You might as well tear the house down, right? Oh my gosh, it's so bad. I'll show you guys the house. I have pictures. And then she was just like convinced it was just terrible, and she's like, I would feel guilty selling it to you. I was like, well, then just give it to me. Like, I'll take it. I'll just take it. And then whatever, we negotiated. I was at $20,000 to buy this house. Okay, I had her at $20,000. So, but gave her all the stuff, and she was like kind of like not motivated, but did want to sell it. Kind of like waffling around. She's like, well, give me a couple days. I'm like, all right. And I see her. She'd be cleaning the house out. I'd see her like I'm be next door at the other house, and then I'm at my house directly next door. A brand new Tesla pulls up. And when I tell these stories about other wholesalers, like, it's from experience. It's not like bullshit. So the dude pulls up in a brand new Tesla.
Did it die?
I think it died. Oh. No, I think it died.
No, it's still on. You're still on.
You keep touching the table.
No, the gimbal died.
Oh, okay, I see.
All right, here.
Well, I can hold it.
No, don't do that. Just... You can't have that anymore.
Where did the 60K come from?
Hold on.
He was just saying, like, for example, if she would have been like, oh, I only want 60 for it. He was like,
No, this 60K came from the rehab.
Oh.
Rehab. Yeah. So then I'm next door at my house. I'm next door at my house, getting it all cleaned out. And I see this brand new, super cool Tesla pull up. And I was like, oh, that's a cool Tesla. Then this dude comes out. It's another wholesaler. I know who this person is. You guys might know him if you're in Cincinnati. Comes out in a suit, and he's just like coming out like he's like $1 million listing to go look at this crappy house. This woman just inherited from her mom who just died. Came out like it was like a GQ thing. And I was like, that son of a bitch. I was like, no. I was like, no. So he goes through, runs out. He leaves, and I like run right over. I'm like, Mary. I'm like, what was he doing here? I know who that is. And I was like, I swear to God, I was like, Mary. All he's gonna try to do is buy your property for as cheap as he can, then mark it up, and then sell it to other people. And because he's a wholesaler, right? And I'm like, saying that, and I'm a wholesaler to myself, right? I don't know. I'm the end buyer, but I'm also gonna wholesale to myself, right? So I was like, what did he offer you? And she's like, Jarius, I just really like you, and I'm going to be honest. He offered me $25,000. And I was like, Mary, can I just give you 30 and just be done with this thing? She's like, really? I was like, yeah. I was like, let's do 30. Let's just be done with it. I'm already working over here, and I'm like working over here, and like it'd be nice if I could just have them right next to each other. It makes it really easy. She's like, I just feel so bad. I'm like, don't feel bad. It's fine. So I ended up buying it for $30,000. The whole point of the story is, I wholesaled that house in like 2 hours. That's why this is so important right here, right? And then she lived in Dayton. She's not coming to drop out of this house again. Hey, she's cleaning it out. Mary, you don't gotta do anything. You're done. You're done here. You don't want to drive from Dayton. Yeah, done. Sign this. Give me your routing number. Yeah, that's it. And that's somebody else. A million reasons, guys. Like, that's my partner. He's doing it there. That's this. Whatever.
Just like that house that Nate just bought. Got one 110 for you, got 50.
Yeah. Just like that.
Dreaming about it. It's just like, yeah, that was awesome.
God.
Have sellers tried to negotiate on your 25% margin ever? Have they ever inquired why 25%?
Actually, no, they never have. I mean, it's just, if they ever did, I'd be like, well, do you go to work for free? I'm taking on all this debt. I'm taking on the risk. I have the liability. I'm dealing with contractors. This is a 9-month project for me. I gotta make money. Like, nobody's asking you to go to work for free. Like, I gotta make money. I'm here to help. Like, pay me, Mary.
Now, so earlier on, when you were talking about,
I'm interested, but like, I don't know. But if I'm able to to get it up there, like, are we done? Is that good? Or like, hey, I can be at 130, but like, I need you to finance the deal for me. I need you to carry it I need you to carry it back for 5 years. If you seller finance it, I do have some flexibility because now I'm saving costs and whatever. But Danny, it's just posture. Like and it gets easier the more you do it. Like they always say in negotiation, the person who cares the least wins, and it's just true. Like one thing, like I've learned to do better is like when I'm at houses, like I don't spaz out. Like I'll mirror whoever I'm with, and once you like mirror them, and you're just like. Like, I don't need the deal. Like, you might be, like, begging. Like, for that Mary, I was, like, begging. Like, I wanted it so freaking bad. Like, oh. And, I want another one right now. Let's get start calling some people. Let's do that. I'm ready. I'm ready. This is the best business ever, man. Can you believe we get paid for this? But you just don't do it. You just say like, wait, you just wish wash. You're just like, I got a partner. I got somebody else. Like in this case, my lender will kill me. Last time I broke this rule, I lost my butt on a deal, blah, blah, blah. And then come back to it. Let them sweat it out, right? They want to sell it just as bad. So.
Do you always write your own contracts?
Hmm?
I'm supposed to go look at a wholesale deal tomorrow, possibly too, in Cincinnati. So say I go through the property, the numbers look great and everything, and then is it on the wholesaler's going to write up the contract or whatever?
Oh, you talking about you're looking at a deal from a wholesaler?
Yeah.
Oh, from Chris?
Yeah.
I'll have if the wholesaler has a contract, I'll have them send it over to me. Yeah. Chances are it's going to be sort of like a weird kind of contract. I'll just make sure I'm going to make sure that they have a purchase contract, first of all. And if they don't want me to see it, that's fine. I'll just say, who's the title company? I want to call the title company and make sure you have title. You know what I mean? Yeah, well, whatever. You just want to see that there is really a contract. And then if it's an assignment, it's just going to be assignments are kind of shitty one-word docs. There's not really a standard assignment. It's really just boom, 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 boom. It's super simple. So, no, but yeah, I would be fine signing the assignment or I would have the wholesaler just do it, but just look at it. So.
That's a good thing as far as checking with the title company when you're working with wholesalers, because they're float.
Dude, they're nowadays, man, when I used to wholesale, man, people still had morals. Now it's wholesaling is the coolest thing and everybody wants to do it. And it's just so frustrating because I don't know, don't get me started. It's just annoying. Let's just talk about Mary. Anything else, guys? That's pretty much it. Is there any Q&A or whatever?
Guillermo says thank you for sharing all your knowledge and experience. Chris Long says just made it home. Great to see everyone. You guys never stop.
Awesome. But does this make sense? Is there more? No. Oh, okay, good. Does this make sense, guys? Can you guys all we can all go to a house and do this. It's not complicated. This is what makes us better and different than everybody else. Is we are taking our time, we're breaking it down, we're showing them what we're doing, why we're doing, how we're getting that conclusion. That's it.
I have a question. When you're looking at the crumbs, what's your rule? Do you take the lowest or the highest or the average?
He's super new.
Oh my God. You missed. I just went on and on about that. You guys came in late.
The good news The good news is this was recorded live.
No, I'll break it down real fast. So this is comp 1 and comp 2. I'll do 2 sets of comps. One set of comps where I can justify the value being lower. However, I used to justify it, whether the house is dated, whether I'm looking at a house that's the house I want to go look at is a 3-bed, 1-bath, but I know I'm going to make it a 4-bed, 2-bath, or a 3-bed, 2-bath. And I'm going to be able to push it, and I know that I'll be able to get $250 for it. So I'll keep these comps for me, and then I'll take a different set of comparable sales to the seller.
So the lows for the seller.
You're right. And you guys know enough going through the academy that you know how to tweak that kind of stuff. You can look at square footage and subtract and this house has a carport versus a garage. Garages are worth at least $75,000 more. Whatever. You just make, you do your thing, so.
Demont says, curious, you just helped me see it better.
No,
what I'm-
I actually think it's really good. I really
Well, duh, are you surprised?
No.
You're like, well, I actually think this was really good. I came in thinking it was going to suck, but you know what? It was just fine. This was just fine. Thank you for doing this just fine thing you spent your life refining. Cool.
Finally, Jerry.
We gotta make sure we do this wholesale course.
We were just happy that we could understand you.
What?
We were happy that you were going at 150 miles an hour versus 200.
I slowed down a lot, haven't I?
Today,
And the other day, too.
no.
There is no way I'm going the same speed. Oh.
I listen fast because sometimes I talk fast too.
Well,
But I still piece your words together to
it's nice to like have a whiteboard and actually be able to talk and explain things versus sitting in the lobby of a hotel that was too small for us to begin with.
I'm a visual person, so when you explain things on the board, it's easier for me to.
Yeah, me too. I'm way visual. This is like a dream for me. That's why I bought those easels, but they were shitty. I should have just bought a big whiteboard. I know. I tried to save money and I'm like, then I bought a projector and couldn't get it to work. Like, it couldn't be any worse.
PowerPoint for this, dude? I can put together a PowerPoint for you.
I'll make my own. Thank you, though. Really, No, I know. I was just joking. That's why he hates my PowerPoints.
We had more of this in the academy.
That's what he does for a living, though. He puts the PowerPoints and makes PowerPoints.
It's like, I think this would help.
You're doing a webinar or something,
Yeah. Well,
On the
good thing is this will live rent free in the academy forever.
So, all right, guys. You're awesome. Thank you for watching. We're gonna hang up. Next time, come to the reunions and all the stuff if you guys can make it, please.